I cannot go to school, cause no more money. I can't stand no more, cause no more food. I cannot go to school, cause no more money. Hey yo, excuse me Mr. Journalist, I wonder how you make your headlines in the press release today. Although I read the news every day, but I'm really still getting confused now, and I just wanna ask you some questions. Oh, is it based on money? Is it based on presidency? Is it based on technology? Is it based on war? Tell me, we got make your headline. Oh, we got make your story. Yeah. There is no job, no money for hustlers. We got make your headline. We got make your story. Yeah. There is no job, no money for hustlers. Come take a coverage, the rainy season coming soon. In the ghetto, all the houses are full of leakage, nowhere to sleep. Come and see the widow, living in the street with her children. Since the daddy went to war to fight, he never lived to see them. The children have no shelter, oh, children have no education. The children have no one to call their friend, the children have no food to eat. We got bigger headlines. Oh, we got bigger stories. Hey, yo. There is no job, no money for hustlers. We got bigger headlines. Raise your headlines. We got bigger stories. Bigger stories. There is no job, no money for hustlers. How many people do you love, man? How many people do you cherish? How many people do you help out there? Most especially women. No job, no money, no gods, no glory, no help for poor men. That's what we know. How many people do you love? How many people do you cherish? How many people do you help out there? Most especially poor men. No job, no money, no gods, no glory, no help for poor men. That's what we know. We got bigger headlines. We got bigger stories. There is no job, no money for hustlers. We got bigger headlines. We got bigger stories. There is no job, no money for hustlers. You don't know stories? You've been rapping stories from rock of ages. Keep rapping stories about people who not too concerned. We got a lot of people in the ghetto, people on the block, people in the street. If y'all know what I know, follow me, and I'll take you to places where people are suffering. We got lame people, blind people, I mean, people that in need, man. People too much in need. Come on, yeah. How many people do you love, man? How many people do you cherish? How many people do you help out there? Most especially women. No job, no money, no gods, no glory, no help for poor men. That's what we know. How many people do you love? How many people do you cherish? How many people do you help out there? Most especially poor men. No job, no money, no gods, no glory, no help for poor men. That's what we know. Bigger headlines. We got bigger stories. There is no job, no money for hustlers. We got bigger headlines. We got bigger stories. There is no job, no money for hustlers. I can't stand no more, no more food. about the million things I still. Do we dream of another world somewhere nowhere in the skies? Do we wanna keep surviving, surviving? What about music? What about children? What about nature's quest to stay alive? Stay alive, we must listen, we must listen. Stay alive, we must share, we must share. For a while, one must say, the state of where is mine, where is mine. The state of where is mine, where is mine. And now every action, every day, no one wants to be weaker one, weaker one. What's the price for the strong? Though we spill on river of blood, I'm right, we say I'm right. If history has taught us no lessons, it's that we need to teach our children, our children. Will the rebel be the strongest? What about music? What about children? What about eight steps and poverty? To stay alive, we must listen, we must listen. To stay alive, we must share, we must share. For a while, one must say, the state of where is mine, where is mine. The state of where is mine, where is doesn't really matter who you are. Doesn't really matter where you're from, where you're from. Doesn't really matter what you believe. What about music? What about children? What about nature's quest to stay alive? What about music? What about children? What about eight steps and poverty? Stay alive, we must listen, we must listen. Stay alive, we must share, we must share. For a while, one must say, the state of where is mine. The state of where is mine. The state of where. I can't stand no more, cause I'm a fool. I cannot go to school, cause no more money.
Good evening.
I can't
Good evening. Good afternoon.
stand no more, cause I'm a fool. I cannot go to school, cause no more money.
Good morning, depending on location where you're watching us from next time. I'd like to say welcome to BKS TV and welcome to the Heat Talk program here
Hey yo,
on BKS TV.
excuse me, Mr. Jimmy.
On the Heat Talk, we say dialogue and not confrontation. We say words and not bullets.
I wonder how you make your headline
Today is the 2nd of
in the press release today.
June 8th, 2026.
Although every day.
This is how I would like to welcome you to
But I'm really still getting confused now. And I just wanna
today's edition of the Heat Hour Show here on BKS TV.
ask you some questions. Oh, they say pay some money.
And of course, today we still will be discussing
They
the
say pay some pressing.
BAC audit report on the Nima County Administration arranged from the year 2018,
They say pay
fiscal year 2018 to
some
2023.
technology. They say pay some
And of course, we are privileged here tonight
war. Tell me,
to play host to former PMC chairman of Nima County, Mr. Peterson Walker. Peterson Walker served as the PMC chairman of Nima County from 2015 to 2019. And so by far, the report also mentioned him.
I'm taking coverage
The report mentioned his leadership,
during the season.
stewardship by
Coming soon
the Nima County Administration.
in the ghetto. All the houses
So Peterson going to be joining us here tonight on the show
are full of liquor.
to tell us some things we don't know about the report.
Where to sleep?
Make us understand the report, what it is.
Come and see
One thing that we all know is that 12 million,
the widow.
little over 12 million United States dollars was
Living
accounted for according to the report.
in the street with our children.
Sure, that one we know it too as well.
Since the daddy went to war to fight, he never lived to see them. The children have no shelter. Oh, children have no education. The children have no one to call their friend. The children have no food to eat. Oh, hey, yo. There is no job, no money.
And so it's 13 minutes past 8 o'clock in Liberia. Making it 13 minutes past 10 o'clock in Rwanda, East Africa too as well.
Raise your hand.
We've got major headlines for you this entire week. We still will be diving into the GSC audit report,
Raise your story.
Nima County Administration too as well.
How many people do you love, man? How many people do you cherish?
You say you're a leader.
How many
So tell me, how many people do you love?
people do you help
How many people do you cherish?
out there? Most
I think it's bribing the people's money
especially poor men. No job,
among yourself and calling it love.
no money. No gods, no glory. No help for poor men.
But what happened to the money?
That's what we know. How many people
Why is the money not accounted for?
do you love?
Another question that all of us need to ask ourselves.
How many people do
Patriotic citizen of Liberia,
you cherish?
Nima County.
How many people do you help out there? Most especially poor men. No job, no money. No gods, no glory. No help for poor men. That's what we know. We got bigger headlines. We got bigger stories. There is no job. No money for hustlers. We got bigger headlines. We got bigger stories. There is no job, no money for hustlers. Have no shelter. Oh, children have no education. The children have no one to call their friend. The children have no food to eat. We got bigger headlines. Oh, we got bigger stories. Hey, yo. There is no job, no money for hustlers. We got bigger headlines. Raise your headlines. We got bigger stories. Raise your stories. There is no job, no money for hustlers. How many people do you love, man? How many people do you cherish? How many people do you help out there? Most especially poor men. No job, no money. No gods, no glory. No help for poor men. That's what we know. How many people do you love? How many people do you cherish? How many people do you help out there? Most especially poor men. No job, no money, no cause, no glory, no help for poor men. That's what we know. We got bigger than money. We got bigger stories. There is no job, no money for hustlers. We got bigger than money. We got bigger stories. There is no job, no money for hustlers. You don't know stories? You've been rapping stories from rock of ages. Keep rapping stories about people who not too concerned. We got a lot of people in the ghetto, people on the block, people in the street. If y'all know what I know, follow me, and I'll take you to places where people are suffering. We got lame people, blind people. I mean, people that in need, man. People too much in need. Come on, yeah. How many people do you love, man? How many people do you cherish? How many people do you help out there? Most especially poor men. No job, no money, no cause, no glory, no help for poor men. That's what we know. How many people do you love? How many people do you cherish?
Liberians. I'm one of those that were invited. When I appeared from in the morning to 7:30 in the evening, what happened? They only asked me whatever you will say here will not be used against you in any court of law. Just give your experience about the war. So it said my experience, why I fought, that you took to convict me and call me a notorious war criminal in your book. When you say a man is a war criminal, it means you have convicted him. So why are you looking for a war crime code now? Look for jailhouse and put me. Because after conviction, sentence. So you can convict us. All those that appear before the TRC, we saw no one that complained that Prince Johnson did this or did that. It's the TRC explaining about people in the book. So is that a court?
Do you feel embarrassed being called war criminal?
Yeah, because you see, you can't destroy people's record. Reputation is hard or something. Is what they use to stigma me. So when I'm running for the presidency, they know I can win. So they use that to rape, they use that to blackmail. So if I can be president, I'm president of my university, I'm here. I'm ambassador for Christ.
But do you have intention of becoming president of this country?
Prince Johnson, our leader. Prince Johnson, our leader. Prince Johnson, our leader.
Why have intention of becoming president of this country?
Let me tell you this. I ran for president. Had I been the president, I would have done many things unusual. I would politically or legislatively break down the government through decentralization.
But you supported this government.
Listen, I'm coming for that. I would have decentralized political governance constitutionally so that people can elect who govern them in the countries. I would have made good my promise. But people come to power, all government, all candidates come to lie. They use decentralization as a platform. When they get it, they don't because they want to centralize power. If I had been the president, I will focus on education also to make sure that those community colleges that are not standard, that are up to standard, a lot of things will be done, okay? But since I am not, you can't question God. But I'm glad that I'm ambassador of Christ and I own a university, a decent one, not bati chicken hut.
Over 50 of your colleagues have already signed.
No, listen.
Asking for the
listen.
to be established.
Listen. Those people are on the wrong part of history. The first thing, if there was to be a war crime court, it's not possible in Liberia.
Why?
One key thing, the Rome Statute. I went to Japan with Wale Duna and Laha Lasana. We brought it to Monrovia to have it ratified in 2003. It was after our war. So you cannot, it's not applicable to Liberia. That's one. Two, you have an amnesty law. passed by the 51st legislature, granting amnesty to all factions in the republic who fought in the war. So you cannot have war crime code and amnesty in the same country. Amnesty for who? For all those who fought. Then you say war crime code. Why you didn't bring war crime code from Ghana?
So if they could have been established in...
It will not be established, so just leave that. It's a garbage. Don't even worry about that.
But why you feel so bitter about the issues of war crime code? There are many listed names.
No, I'm not bitter. But those who are talking about it, they are stupid. Because they don't have sense. They are stupid because they know there are legal instruments that prevent that from happening. But they turn it upside down. There are legal instruments. They are stupid, including Tewon Gonglo too.
What are some of those?
You know what? You know what? I just told you. There's an amnesty law. Listen. No. We didn't even invite them here, but they came. Leave them from the station that answered to me. Leave it.
Let's leave it.
The first thing, Tewon Gonglo good are stupid. You know what? Those damn lawyers under Tewon Gonglo leadership should have kept mute until war crime code comes. When it comes, then we who will be implicated will look for a lawyer among them to represent us. But when you lawyer go to Kakata and endorse war crime code, they mean you are compromising yourself.
Yes, Senator, you spoke this morning earlier with one of our sister radio. You said in 2 years you will be offering a bachelor's degree at this university.
Not 2 years, no. We are
in
opening.
2 years' time.
No, you didn't understand. You see, you listen but you don't hear. That's what I say. People read. You know the Ethiopia, was reading when the Spirit of God led Philip. Go to that Ethiopia, a big man from Ethiopia. He's reading from the book of Isaiah 53. But he doesn't understand. Go and teach him. So Philip went to him. He said, sir, excuse me, do you understand what you read? And the Ethiopian said, how am I going to understand if you don't interpret to me? So you need interpretation. You are the Ethiopian, Okay. I said we are opening, registration start January. We start with AA and BSc immediately. In 2 years after that, master. You here, you will come. He's the president of the university, Dr. Gonza Mantare. Okay, so I only brought you for the development, but you want top politics, I will be the Yake Koloba, I will give it to you. Well, when I was in Nigeria, in exile, preparing to come back home, I was contemplating on what to be done. What would be my contribution in the development of post-war Liberia? Okay. And so the Lord spoke to me that the war is over. I'm ordaining you to go and preach my word. After that vision, the second vision was seeing myself preaching to a larger crowd. In my vision, I was preaching to a very large crowd. And then when I woke up, the idea came to my mind to build an educational foundation. Okay. After war, people get traumatized. The war drove so many people into exile. Infrastructure broke down. So the way I would give back to my people was to establish the educational foundation and the PYJ Educational Foundation Scholarship Scheme, which is available now. We're sending many students from our school and other places to university. So we did a foundation in Monrovia, and a lot of people say, oh, this man is too discriminative. You see, he's from Nimba. He has neglected the people in Nimba. He built school in Monrovia. He don't care about his own people. But you see, Ecclesiastes 3 verse 1 says, there's a time and a season for everything. What we did was for Monrovia. They didn't know that we got planned for the bigger picture. In Monrovia, we had 2 schools, elementary, junior, and senior high school, that is now overpacked, overcrowded with students, low school fees, qualified teachers. Those students pass the wire and watch.
So this project is a boost for Nimba and the people of Liberia?
A complete boost for Nimba. Charity begins at home. Okay? Nobody in this republic, the 15 political subdivision, nobody, no lawmaker, no presidential candidate has ever done this.
In terms of monetary value,
but we're still building. I say 5.5 million when we are completed, but we're still building.
But you work for $15,000 and you have $5.5 million project.
I will refer you to not only the Apostle Paul said, the Lord shall supply all my need, but go to some barbecue. We went there, it was a small place. See what it is now. When your heart is captured by God's Spirit, you can do bigger things. This is God's word.
Are you doing some business apart from lawmaking?
I'm a senator, I'm a deputy speaker, and I have the right to get loan. I have properties in Monrovia. So with the property value you had, the bank gave you whatever loan, go to Echo Bank. I've been dealing with Echo Bank since 2005, since I came here.
With the high school in Monrovia, when did you build that high school and when it began to be a high school, by the way?
Well, the Mawa stream is there. You go to church there, so when you go to church, only look there. The Mawa stream, that place is dedicated to my mother, Ma Zwada Yedie, who was killed by the MPFL during the war. And this one is also dedicated to her. All the institutions we built dedicated to my mother, the Liberian children, the Nimba children, and so forth.
Let's talk a bit about your scholarship scheme in Liberia. How many students have you provided a scholarship?
We have about 50 right now. Many of them are from our school. Because when you graduate from the PYG Educational Foundation, you go to school, wherever you want to go to school. And those who are in the school there, who choose to be a member of the choir, they are all on a scholarship. They don't want you saw just now. They are all on a scholarship. Some have graduated. They go to different school, university.
So I guess there will be a first preference given to the citizens of Nimba when this university is open.
Definitely, that's why we put it here. I went to Kepamas. I visited the college. In fact, entering Upper City, I saw so many students with placards. And I discovered they were Nimbanians living in a country with fear because they do your business. Okay? With fear. So they only offer BSc there. So if I have a school that offer AA and BSc, this kind of beautiful structure, beautiful foreign equipment, everything, qualified professors. In 2 years, will be master. Okay? They will come here. They will all come here.
But wow, do you have a competent librarian to face a chair until you get imported?
Because I want to make the most modern. Look, the school in Monrovia, we got local armchairs, barely made, but expensive. But the chair we have now from the US, that no college got it here. You can only find similar thing perhaps to Blue Crest. It's about 20, 30 year guarantee, still.
Okay, let's talk a bit about your country, Nimba, that you happen to be the senator of. Let's talk about a bit about the metal steel money and how properly it's been used and been managed by the people of Nimba.
The government of Ellen being a crook, we never benefited. This government has never given us our money, they clear it.
Wow.
That shouldn't be. So we need to meet as a caucus, Nimba caucus, Bon County caucus, and Grand Baza caucus. We need to meet the president or do something for the new MDA that is coming so that the money can go straight to the counties. Because we're not benefiting.
But what is the cause? You are not benefiting?
Well, they put the money in escrow account and government goes there. I think you just heard recently how the government, this regime went to the donor funds. They took, you know what I mean? And so if they can do that, what about Nimba money? That's the first place they went to. So we can't get any benefit.
Have the lawmakers of Nimba been able to gather the citizen and disclose the information to them like telling us right on the TV?
I always say that. Doing preaching on Sunday, I mention it. People play here, they know. They know no county sitting anywhere in the country right now. Because you go to a county city, you come up with programs, then you access on the money through the PPCC, and carry out development in the district. But nothing like that, all is gone.
We've overheard Tabitha Hospital has been looted by the government. Why the administration of Nimba, especially?
Well, the hospital staff didn't tell me. The last time they told me was one CT scan was to be taken away, and the president called me, and I told him, no.
Have you done due diligence since then?
They didn't take it again. But what they did, they allowed one CT scan to be taken away to Phoebe, and they didn't tell me. They had told me we'll stop it. But they took it away, it stayed long. Then when they came to take the second one, that one they said, let me tell the woman. Then the president called me, then the VP called me, and I said, I think we should take money and buy. It's about $75,000 or $100,000. Then what we can buy. So we take money from Nimba, dismantle Jackson Doe to build other hospital. So I said no.
You supported this government with your heart, and this government paving road.
My man, if we didn't support the government,
what about from here to the referral hospital?
if we did not support this government, Ellen was bent on doing what she wanted. That's the truth. Before the elections, Ellen had secret meeting in her house with all the magistrates from the counties and the commissioners. I brought about this on the air, but nobody knew it and nobody wanted to take part with me. So I kept quiet because each person thought it was in their favor. Cummings thought maybe it was in his interest. Maybe Bronskin thought the same way. Maybe Boyka thought the same way. But when she went to the UN after the meeting and she told the UN that she wanted generational change, that when they came to themselves, because we are all old people, right? So that when they realized that it was going to be a different person, not us. So when it came, we had a meeting in Ganta. I called a meeting. All the opposition parties, I sponsored the meeting. That the person who will be in the lead, we should support. And our objective was to get UP out. But when Usan and George were in the lead, other group refused to join. They want to join the very UP we sent to kick out the power, Boyka. So I kept my promise. You must be a promise keeper. A demonic character will not keep promise.
So how do you feel about working with this government, in this government as well?
It's my making. I gave my support for 6 years, and I'm watching keenly, and I've asked all opposition parties to disregard demonstration, December 1st or whatever. Let us all sit and watch and see how we move toward 2023. The re-election of this government will depend on the dividend of democracy that Nimba County will reap. Because the road here is not us. It was initiated by Ellen. We know that. The Logwato and this one, and the Ganta Yekepa, it was initiated. But what we're doing now is to remind them that what the previous government signed, please live by it. So we didn't sign it, it was signed before. So what we want is prioritize Nimba, relocate the Ganta, the Sanankoli Hospital from the train track, do the relocate the market or renovate the market in Sanankoli, do the market in Ganta, you know what I mean? These are projects we might benefit from. Don't come to talk about Logwato Road because of the past government.
Before we take leave of you this afternoon, you have contested for presidency 2 times and lost. 2023 is coming, and you might be contesting for senator. So how are we going to compromise that you still have the hope of contesting for presidency?
No, I will go to the Senate. Because you know what? I see this. 2023, it will be Rick.
Rick?
Yes.
What makes you think so?
Prophetically speaking, I'm a man of God. I'm a man of God. It's not something I'm seeing by this government. I say it will be Rick.
By this government?
By this government, to remain in power. Okay? And that will bring the government and the civilians into confrontation. So if I run for president, it is Rick, I will lose both the Senate and the presidency.
So did you see the end of that vision? What will happen if it is rigged?
I see some confusion between civilians and people. I see more demonstration, I see more chaos. I'm a man of God.
The citizens are crying every day, libraries high. Why are all the lawmakers?
If it don't happen, what I tell you, don't believe me.
Why are the policy are put in place to make things good for the citizens who put you in offices?
Well, we do our best, we advise, but you cannot take the horse to the river and force it to drink. Because if I were president, I would prioritize salaries. Salary put food on the people's table. It made a civil servant to buy things to the market, money goes around. But look how we the senator 4 months, we haven't gotten paid. The first of us kind of saying.
Are you disappointed?
We're going back to Taylor's Day.
Are you disappointed?
I'm supposed to be disappointed when my people are crying. Copper rent in Nimba County expensive, burger rent high. So if you want us to vote for you, we are prepared. But the first time we cry, then we will continue to cry on the second time. That the cry will continue until 2023. It will make us change our mind because I won't be stupid to come to Nimba and say, let's vote for the simple. They will throw me off. They will throw me off.
So you feel comfortable of being senator?
Yeah, what God said, I will be a man. Because I tell you, there was massive rigging during this going election. My school, look at my children here, we can see. My wife and my children. We went to my school to vote. I didn't get one vote from there. So my wife betrayed me? Eh? I betray myself?
But did you take an issue to the National Elections Commission?
I care less. I know what happens, so I keep quiet. You see? I mean, that's what happened. Different school, university.
So I guess there will be a first preference given to the citizens of Nimba when this university is open.
Definitely, that's why we put it here. I went to Kepamas. I visited the college. In fact, entering Upper City, I saw so many students with placards. And I discovered they were Nimbanians living in a country with fear because they go your business. Okay? With fear. So they only offer BSc there. So if I have a school that offer AA and BSc, this kind of beautiful structure, beautiful foreign equipment, everything, qualified professors. In 2 years, will be master. Okay? They will come here. They will all come here.
But wow, do you have a competent librarian to face a chair until you get import it?
Because I want to make the most modern. Look, the school in Monrovia, we got local armchairs, barely made, but expensive. But the chair we have now from the US, that no college got it here. You can only find similar thing perhaps to Blue Crest. It's about 20, 30 year guarantee. Still.
Okay, let's talk a bit about your country, Nimba, that you happen to be the senator of. Let's talk about a bit about the metal steel money, how properly been used and been managed by the people of Nimba.
The government of Ellen being a crook, we never benefited. This government has never given us our money, they clear it.
Wow.
That shouldn't be. So we need to meet as a caucus, Nimba caucus, Bon County caucus, and Grand Baza caucus. We need to meet the president or do something for the new MDA that is coming so that the money can go straight to the counties. Because we're not benefiting.
But what is the cause? You are not benefiting?
Well, they put the money in escrow account and government goes there. I think you just heard recently how the government, this regime went to the donor funds. They took, you know what I mean? And so if they can do that, what about Nimba money? Now the factory they went to. So we can't get any benefit.
Have the lawmakers of Nimba been able to gather the citizen and disclose the information to them like telling us right on the TV?
I always say that. Doing preaching on Sunday, I mention it. People play here, they know. They know no county sitting anywhere in the country right now. Because you go to a county city, you come up with programs, then you access on the money through the PPCC, and carry out development in the districts. But nothing like that, all is gone.
We've overheard Tabitha Hospital has been looted by the government while the administration of Nimba, especially...
Well, the hospital staff didn't tell me.
Well, this administration here, they ate our money. They don't do anything about it. That's former Senator Prince Yomi Johnson of Nema County. The former PMC chairman of Nema, Mr. Peterson Walker, is here tonight. And Peterson, I don't know how to say he will be our guest, but Peterson joined us here to tell us some of the things we don't know in a report, to give us the way they work for the county. Peterson served as PNC chairman from 2015 to 2019. And according to rumors, Peterson left and went to the US, and that's how he resigned from that position. But Peterson is here tonight, so he will give us a detailed explanation on his regime, the Doug Cooper regime, allegedly 2.something million United States dollars was unaccounted for. Many of these projects were abandoned. Some of those people who they gave money to as contractors didn't implement the projects. And reports we are getting is that some of the government officials, some of the PMC officials at that time, they even had their own companies that they used to award contracts to themselves. They will say, okay, for example, the Trois River Group of Company.
The man that buy you talking about that man, you put him away. Yeah, make it.
So you can see it's good to have you on here tonight. We got to lay it down very well for him, and when he comes, we.
No, you gotta have the person on both first. Before you talk that plenty talking. You need the man that buy it. We talking that. My brother Peterson Walker, what's up, Chi?
Yes, guys. Thank you, CEO. And I like how Jim was just laying the premise. You know what I like about the media? They always look for a headline.
Yeah, I tell you, man, hold on now. You know, if you are not here, you give me all the headline. I will say, yeah, man, yeah, so you can go along. But man, right there in the corner.
Yeah,
but welcome to the show, bro.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm thrilled to be here tonight.
Yeah, we never announce you. We never announce you. We get no name there because you are a panelist. So
yeah, so that's why I wanted to tell you. Yeah. I'm not a guest per se. I just like I'm a panelist. Just as some reasons we can be beyond the scene, but yes, I'm a member of you. I'm part of you, so we can discuss together and provide some insights, discuss some key things, especially what you may have serious doubts. We will be nowhere in the report that I have not read, that I have not gone through. So wherever you have your doubts, you can lay there and just I can provide my own expertise as per how those things are structured, and some of the shortfalls as well. You may not understand that. Professional people look at professional documents. You see shortfalls, but it's not glaring to other people, and because the concentration may not be to those places where professional people look. So we can discuss detail and
you know, that's the reason why we brought you on here tonight, Big Brother Peterson, to tell us what we don't know.
Right.
Maybe we get in the report wrong.
And then, John, before you go there, it's good to let our audience know that Peterson has an accounting background, right? So he's in a very good position to talk to us about audit, how audit works, and all that stuff. So it's going to be a really good, informative show. With no emotion attached, and then he being our panelists, our fellow panelists, we're not going to be biased as well. So it's going to be a wonderful show, and our people will be happy to hear this.
So again, it's great to have you on here tonight, Peterson. You know, when we saw this report, all of us panicked. Me, including the lay people who don't understand the nitty-gritty of the report, all of us panic. But before we go to the report, tell us your role in the county administration from 2015 to 2019, and then tell us the role of the PMC too as well. Let's start the discussion from there.
Thank you, Jim. It's a very fantastic platform, and one thing that I'm happy about is if we have not had a platform like this to discuss the key things, that has to do with the county, people will now understand what these things look like. But regardless of the efforts we will make to provide some education, people will still choose to go their own way.
Yeah.
So I can tell any of my professional colleagues that your name is mentioned or you were part of any audit, not only in Nima County, anywhere in the world, the best thing you can do is appear. Do not shy away from media. Come and discuss what you think is best. Now, having said that, let me just lay this premise. The project management committee was, like when I came the last time, I touched here a little bit. Project management committee was really established to be able, let's say, there were two committees that were managing the county and social development fund. So 2005, like that, two committees. You have the project implementation units, and you got the project management committee. So the project management committee at the time was strictly managing the 200,000 that has to do with county development funds. And the project implementation unit was being supervised by the DFC. The DFC is measuring that report. And that's one of the entity that government get rid of and policy maker get rid of. I really always think Liberia going nowhere, because if something come on board to straighten up something, people will go against it. The DFC was dedicated fund committee. That committee was the one that used to vet PIU. PIU, a project implementation unit. So after like 2000, after 2005, 2017, no, 2000, it was 2013. 2013, they decided to merge this committee, the PMC and the PIU, to get one head. And that's when we came on board. I have worked with Ministry of Public Works in the internal audit section as assistant to the late Peter Kirby. He was the internal auditor. I worked there from 2009, 2010. And then I went to Cocopa as accountant, and I worked there as the last position I held in Cocopa was accounting operation manager in Cocopa. So when we came to Saninkole during county council, we came as Cocopa, official to Saninkole, and then I was elected to serve the county as the controller, and that was the time I came in. The role of the project management committee, and before you were sent to that position, I'm just giving you synopsis of those things because of time. Before you were sent to that position, you need experience. The law says clearly, the budget law says clearly, you must have experience in the role you need to serve in before you get nominated for election. And so when we came at a time, we were three that was nominated, two persons that were nominated. One person was he was working with Budget Bureau, and I came from the finance background. And then when the election, I got elected. And the project management committee is responsible to identify, work with stakeholders, identify cost, project, implement, and manage the financial expenditure of the county for the project. In summary, all of what they wrote there, that's what it means. You need to identify the project, cost the project. Costing the project, it means you're doing all of the procurement proceeding, you're doing all of the bid evaluation, bidding process. That's the what costing the project and the project management cycle there. You make sure monitoring, evaluation, everything is done on a PMC. What the superintendent does is the superintendent ensures that the work of project management committee is done inconsistent with the law before they sign the check that will pay contractors. So when you look at so at the time, DSC was still working with PMC, was still working, guiding PMC in those processes. So PMC will be making a report. The superintendent will sign a report and send it to the Ministry of Internal Affairs. When we came around 2015, the entire policy around PMC changed to bringing in internal audit secretariat to fully be doing two things. Internal audit secretariat will be able to do routine post-audit. That is, after you guys are working, what have you, internal audit secretariat through the Internal Affairs Ministry serve as the audit committee of the local government. So the local government is strictly being supervised by this, and no check is written in the local government without the internal audit secretariat through the Internal Affairs audit and internal auditor verification, and then making sure that all of these finances are gone through the process. So they will do that. So they become the audit committee for the county. Now, PMC will do that and then send it to the internal audit secretariat. Trainings went on with PPCC. It was at the time I benefited from that training. PPCC got out the training, and we got certificate international procurement training from public procurement training, and that was facilitated by UNDP. I was the person, because I was the chairman, I benefited from that training. We went to Ghana. The country sent us to Ghana. It was me, Gompa Dan, and Moses Medi. We went and did financial management training. All of this training was done and documented. So that's where I said professional errors and things in the report. But still, the GSC did not recognize that there were training done in the county, and they still reported there was no training. So now, from that side, that's the aspect of project management committee and the superintendent, I call it supervision. The development superintendent has a work. The work the development superintendent does is they have what we call project monitoring team. The development superintendent will send the project planner and the development engineer on the field to monitor the project and make sure that that project has reached the stage that you talked about before they give report to the superintendent. The superintendent has to see the evaluation report before they sign the check. So it's not with PMC alone.
Okay, great. So let hold you there and start to discuss this issue bit by bit. I know it's more of a conversation here tonight. You're making me to understand a little bit of the report. But I want to ask you this.
I want to steal something, June. Let me steal something real fast. To set the premise there, I know my brother talked about some professional things that the audit folks they included this. Well, let's ask this because we have people watching and listening, right? The Oman in Biregli and people listening all over the place. From an overall view, the GACC or GAC did an audit report, right? Peterson, and they found all these discrepancy and the huge issue. What say you about the overall, before we go into the audit report, the detail from the summary, from the overall view, what say you about this report?
Good. So I was giving an overview of the functionalities of the management team before I hit the audit report itself. Okay.
Now, I beg you, before you hit the audit report, you said something that I want you to clarify for us quickly. When the GAC was doing the audit, were you contacted as former PMC chairman?
But
that's some of the reason I said there are professional, errors that I will allude to. There were serious.
So after the audit, the audit report is also given to those people who are being audited, right?
Just a short. Just like about 2 minutes, I can
let me go. Yeah, let me just go.
Now that process is done. You come back to the county on the field of work to start work. When you at PMC, you are the boss for all of the projects that is taking place. You are the boss. The superintendent take responsibility of all of the money that comes out of the county cover because she or he has strict supervision power over that money through the office of the assistant superintendent of fiscal affairs. Not even the superintendent himself or herself. The assistant superintendent of fiscal affairs must be lettered to the extent that they will understand what is happening. Now, getting to this audit report that is on here, I must tell you, there are serious material errors in the audit, not from the professional side. Physical, the management of the funds, there are serious problems. And it worried a lot of people. It will worry the real actors that made mistake or that maybe could not understand how to manage the funds. But getting to it, I want to get you to know that when you are a finance person, everybody's feel that once you can read number, you are an accountant or you are a financial person. No. In the field of financial management, you get the finance and you get the accounting. The accountants are only mainly work, even though they understand the other side of policy, but they're mainly working with numbers. The finance person works with both numbers and policy. So institutional policy, governmental policy that guides the expenditure of certain thing or what to regulate activities, the finance office or finance person understands that better. That's where we place. In the audit report, there are timeline. And the timeline that where we served when we were coming in 2013, we were audited. 2013.
Okay.
For me, coming into PMC, I've had 3 audit experience in all of my field of work, active field of work. So I understand exactly when I'm working somewhere, what the auditors will need and what I need to be right, to do right. So when I got auditor when I was in public works, when I got to Cocopa, I got auditor. When I entered Nima County administration, I was auditor from the beginning, and then this is the 4th audit. So 2018 to 2019, you see it there. If you can get to that portion of it, there are reports they made concerning payments people made, let's say overpayment you made without documentation.
Right.
And that place is catching attention, to be frank. It's catching attention. I think one of my colleagues sent it to me. Oh, you see this place? The people sucker this place. I said, don't worry about that. That place is sucker. I feel for my colleagues that were there, and I would really encourage my brother Harrison and me to come as well and make things explicit, how things were difficult for how they work.
Are you referring to your period, or you're referring to the other guys' period?
The other guys that were that after our administration, they took over. But the audit report did not. The problem is they didn't. It was not like in segment to really cut off that from 2019 to 2018. This is an explicit audit report, and 2019 up to 2023. This is it. So once your name appears into audit report, people just feel that because your name is there, it means you are being indicted. And I want to let everybody know, name being audit does not mean the person is indicted. Mm-hmm. No. Your name is in audit to tell the people that you were part of the administration that worked there. And some of the role you play, whether it's wrong or right, is one making, things to worry about. So in that figure, the number one line you will see there from 2018 to 2019, it talks about the budget. Mm-hmm. It talks about outturn, fiscal outturn, and expenditure. The fiscal outturn, you see for the number one aspect that is around 1.7 plus million. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm not looking at it for billion right here. If you get it there, you can
1.4 million.
Good. That's the fiscal outturn. What that means, when you talk about it, it means the money that came to you for you to use.
But Peterson, can you do a favor? Can we stick with your own regime? Because the other man,
that's a
regime. That's a regime. And he regime there.
When you look at that, it tells you the money that came to the county. It was 1.4 billion. Mm-hmm. And that 1.4 million go to the expenditure. What was the expenditure during our period?
774,000.
So it means we receive this money, we spend this money. How much we need in a cover for us to turn over to the other guys? You look at it.
690,000.
690 plus 1,000. So in understanding, if you have this money came in the county and you leave that money, so will somebody tell you that you are spent above what you receive?
So did the audit report say you left it there, or it was unaccounted for?
This is said the money that was overspent without document. Yes, the money that overspent. If you look at, just read that portion I'm talking about. It was something.
So I come in, Peterson. You are the one that have knowledge on this thing.
Yeah.
You know what variant is, right? You know the variance of money. Good.
Yeah.
So the variance is telling us that you spend this other money, but you cannot give account of it.
No, that variance does not say that. Variance does not say that. Variance is not saying.
We'll go into the report, or we'll go into the report. Yeah, so now the outstanding money. Let me ask you this: did you guys have any money in cover for 2018, 2019?
This is what I'm saying now, Gio. Variance analysis. In fact, that particular portion there, it came from my report. That variance analysis, it was me. It was Peterson report. You can ask anybody. I would did that variance analysis before auditor pick it up and start to bring the other figure in. Variance tells you what was budgeted, what was spent, and what is outstanding. Either you overspent or you underspent. It should appear within the variance. That's what variance analysis does. Now, that's variance analysis. When you do that analysis separately, then you go back now and see if the money you spent, there were documentation. So that's a separate argument about that. But I just want to make that clear. So one of that variance analysis, it should not, when you take that particular 690,000 out of that money, the money that was undocumented or overspent is going to be high up. Okay, it is only the 690,000 the subtracting from that negative figure from my fellow colleagues. So that you see that.
Akami, let go to the audit report. Now, according to the audit report here, the observation from the auditors. It says, during the audit, we observed net variances between the fiscal outturn report and the Nima County Administration financial report for the fiscal year 2018-2019 to the fiscal year 2023, amounting to 5 million, 5.something million, without evidence of approved recast. How can you convince us on this without evidence of approved recasted budget? So they simply trying to tell us in this report that you're spending money, but you're not getting any evidence of how you're spending money.
No, Gio. Let me tell you something. This is the aspect when people pick up a piece of document and you analyze it the way it presents itself, then you understand that. Evidence of approved I call it recast. When does recast come in? Recast come in, you're supposed to receive this money, and then you did not receive it, you receive this other one. So because you're supposed to receive 5,000 and then you receive 3,000, before you spend that 3,000, the previous budget you are made for 5,000, you got to go over it and re-number those projects by breaking them down to fit within the 3,000, I call it, circle. Okay, you understand that? That's what recast means. Now, for the period you see up there, that's one of the reasons I kept saying that particular audit report, maybe my professional colleagues for GSC, they were working and to provide some documentation. If you look at that particular money, like in our response to them, I responded clearly to them. The amount of 1.4 million was out of the county council sitting. And that money, before I left Liberia, we appropriated everything and did a procurement proceeding with everything, waiting for that money to come from the government of Liberia. The money still was expected to come. So how do I recast when that particular money had not arrived for me to start the project? So that is where I have problem with. Now, for the one that's why you see that money still standing. If that money had come, the project at the time would have commenced. But the money did not come. So the project we did not start with the project. Okay? The aspect that was spent, there were administrative costs. Administrative costs, money in the account already, you take that money and reappropriate them. That's what you do in the accounting cycle. Let
me ask you this question before you continue. Which month in 2019 did you resign from the PMC?
May 19.
May 19, 2019, right?
May 19, 2019. 2019, I left from Liberia. Okay? And that was the time I left from Liberia.
When did you leave the PMC position? When did you leave?
When I traveled from Liberia, I spent 3 months still working with my colleagues to be able to get the information right with them. But it was great. when my team was booted out, then we get out of the office.
So that means you work for half of 2019.
Yeah, I work half of 2019.
Great. So let's go to the report of 2019-2020.
Right.
Now
that aspect clear for your understanding. So that
we will still come back.
Clarify that, Peterson.
That money, that particular place is not money that was missing. It was not money that lost from the county covered. It was money that turned over. So in no way that you can say this particular money was not recashed for the preceding year. This money should have been captured as the money from 2019 that was turned over to the other party. That is it.
Okay.
I want to.
Great.
So it's not money.
Yeah, we're coming back because that's the reason why I said we should come to the report of 2019-2020.
Right.
You said the 690,000 plus was turned over.
Yeah.
Now, as a PMC chairman, did you receive any money in the cover for the fiscal year of 2019-2020?
2019-2020. Yes, there was. We got some money that we brought forward from the following budget year. Okay, they were brought forward.
Did they amounted to the 690,000?
No, that's what I'm saying. Money was uncovered. Money was uncovered. Money was uncovered, but we were still waiting for money to complete our project. The money that was uncovered, I can't say that off here because all of the documentations left there. Money that was uncovered, we went with it in the year 2019, in the fiscal period of 2019-2020. So we brought that money back and and just budgeted them. So with that budget, the money to receive and the one that's uncovered was to be the total of 1.4 million plus.
No. You're making the whole conversation now complicated. We live in a 1.4 million. The 1.4 million is in the fiscal year of 2018-2019.
It's not.
Follow me now.
It's not. That 1.4 million is part of the budget. The budget we appropriated in Kansas City. And that budget, the total budget is 1.4 million. And within the 1.4 million, money was uncovered that we put it back into the process to recast. In
2019-2020, the money you requested for the fiscal outturn was 4 million plus.
John.
And
John, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm telling you. That 1.4 million, they're talking about outturn. It is the budget. That's the point I'm making. It is the budget. From the
2019-2020. See, before you come in there, 2019-2020 gave us an outline of 2019-2020 fiscal year.
Now, 2019-2020. From there, we used to have budget period starting June. All right. So our budget period for 2017-2018 was it started July 1, 2018 to June 31st, 2019. You get that aspect? Good. So when we were entering 2018, there were money that we brought on board. From 2016-2017 fiscal period, we brought money on board into 2017-2018. 2018-2019, July is when that budget period started. That's when that outturn started. You understand that? That money you see there, it is the operation that we had from 2018 and 2019, starting July. So that money that is captured as a budgeted fiscal outturn, it is the budgeted. It's the budget that we made. That's the budgeted. So that's what I said. That particular money, the aspect you see that was spent in our 700 and plus thousand, they were both the cost of the existing project we had and the administrative cost. The new project we should have started, that new project did not commence because the government was not able to pay. And that money that government was not able to pay, Senator Johnson was even talking about it right now. So that particular money was not able to be paid at the time when I was there. That's why you saw that gap left. Okay? I want to understand the thing.
No, I'm getting a point you're driving at here.
So
and I also
it was not like you have 20,000 right now, and you're supposed to get 50,000 tomorrow. But because you hear today, the 20,000, you enter with it in tomorrow. And then that 20,000 you spend, that 20,000 you have, you already budgeted both 20,000 and the 50,000. So that 70,000 budget, you will see that this is the budgeted amount, 70,000. But again, you enter with 20,000, and that 20,000 was the one you were spending. And the 20,000.
So in short, the money that you guys budgeted for, you didn't receive everything.
No, when I was there, I didn't receive it. When I left, in fact, when I left from Liberia, Nima County was still owing PMC.
I come in now. Now, since you guys didn't receive all the money and the audit report captured it, what was your response when you saw this report?
Oh no, the audit report captured it. I told them during this period. This is why I'm saying that comment down there is not a statement from us. They said management respond. You go there, you read that response.
So,
it is not our comment. PLC can never respond to audit report like that. Okay? It is not.
Why I'm asking you now? Why is it? Because we want to get the news from you.
What we told them clearly was this particular portion is we did not receive this money. The money that was covered was the one that we used because there were ongoing projects, and those ongoing projects we need to pay for them. So we used that money that we covered to. So this particular money we did not receive it. But again, our colleagues, the audit was not only about 2019. So our colleagues who needed to provide clarification on their portion. So apparently, that's why I can't talk much, because apparently how my colleagues communicated with them, I don't know. What they say, if they didn't say anything, I don't know. You understand that part? So that's why I'm saying for that period, with that one, what I can make clear to the public is there is no money loss from the period of 2019, 2020, 2018, 2019. You see there, that money means Nima County money was still covered. That's a 690,000. It means there was no money missing. So there was money still in the cover.
Let me come to that. So the reason why I keep asking this question, I'll keep emphasizing it, is because first of all, I want to say thanks to you for coming. My brother, you are doing extremely well, and you are speaking to it. We hope that others will have the courage to do the same thing, be it BKS TV or any other media, because our people deserve to learn and listen to the folks who have been implicated in this audit report. Like you said, name being appearing audit report doesn't mean that you've committed anything or that you are guilty of anything. So if you are talking to Omar somewhere in Nima there, you're explaining this, right? So the 690,000 variance that we talked about, variance, as you said, from an accounting perspective, you're right. It doesn't mean that money is missing. But the auditor, the issue they have with this money, the variance, is they don't have enough document to account for this, to support this. Peterson, they're not saying you can't say it was left there or the money is there. We're talking about GAC. We're talking about professionals who they audit. They contacted you guys. They contacted everyone, and you guys have communication. The issue is not the variance, the definition of variance. The issue is this money that is left over, the variance, this huge money, they don't have enough documents to support it, to account for it. I think that's their issue with that.
So just make it simple like this. The terminology they put on that particular variance, it does not suit it.
Okay, so you have issues with the
I have issue with that particular terminology, with that particular variance. Variance, when you're saying this variance, there was no documentation of it. It should be in a negative variance that you have no supporting documentation. For example, you set up, it's still big for other people, but I know logical people that are following this will understand when we are speaking in terms of variance, documentation, or backup for the variance. There is no way that you need to provide documentation for the money you don't use. For example, I'm telling you that the 690,000 was not used, and then you're telling me, say, what was the documentation of it? It doesn't make sense.
But no.
Let me see you. I understand the point you're making now.
Yeah.
Just give me a chance. The variance you see there are two variances there, but these two variances are not clearly defined. The first variance there is the plus. The plus meaning the people did not spend the money, stay in the cover. So you cannot attach it to the one that people spend out of after doing budget. They budgeted, they gave you a budget to spend, and then you spend over that budget. Okay? So if you spend over that budget, means you are in negative variance. So that negative variance, you have to provide justification for why you spend over your budget. You understand the point? So when you are asking me why, Peterson, why you were sitting there and went ahead, the county gave you this budget. They say you're going to spend $1,000. Why you spend $2,000 above the 1,000? So the 2,000 you spend, what's the justification of you spending it? Then you make logic. Then I can clearly talk about it. But if you telling me, say you're supposed to spend 1,000, but you spend 500, why you have 500 here? What the documentation of the 500 you remain here? It doesn't make sense. So I can say that to our people, say the period we're talking about is 690,000. There's no money lost. So if we never spend the money, we don't have justification for not spending the money. The justification we have for not spending the money is because the project at the time we're supposed to implement were not, in process. We did not have the project consummated. We did not have the money to spend it. So that was it. Now, the second one, you have in the middle there, the one we spent. If you're speaking of the one we spent documentation, then I would say there were documentation. There is something in audit they call out of scope. That is, I want to audit. I came to you, like for example, I'm an auditor to audit BKS. And then I came and asked Jion, your show you've been having, maybe people have been paying money to you. Where the documentation? Jion say, I don't have any documentation for the money. It's out of scope. I can't go beyond what Jion said. So if you were able to go ahead and audit and give a report, why will you tell me the money I spent had no documentation? So how did you know that I spent the money in the first place? So the statement that this particular money has no documentation, the only thing a professional auditor does is the evidence of expenditure did not meet compliance. Then you're saying something, people understanding you. But you can't tell me that there were no voucher. In the same other report, it says there were documents you went through. So the money that was spent I'm not speaking for the other people, don't get me wrong. Because I'm telling you, say, we have people that were working there after we left. But my period, Peterson Walker, my period, there is no single documentation is out of that particular money that was spent. Everything is listed. In that particular 700 plus thousand, you will see all the vouchers are there.
But you are saying that there's no document for the money that left, the 690,000. You don't have any document to prove.
Nobody can prove a money that left expenditure document. That's what I'm saying, because there were no documentation for the money spent. So I'm saying that the money was not spent. You can't ask me to give you documentation for the money that was not spent.
But you're saying all this, the 700,000 plus you guys spent, there are documentation for everything. Okay.
Where we going to the next one.
The report now, before you, there's a segment, 3 segments. One is fiscal outcome, another one is expenditure, and another one is variance. Okay? The variance aspect is what the auditor is saying there was no documentation. If you see, you get that? So I'm saying that we cannot provide you expenditure documentation for the money we did not spend. Because
but did you provide a document that could show that the money was in cover?
Oh yeah. Now how they manage, even the people that took over, their opening book balance says 690,000 plus. Those that took over. If you see their opening book balance, their bank balance, they'll tell you 690,000 plus in the cover. So you can't go beyond that.
Let's hold that there and let's move to the next one. Now, if you have the report, I want you to go to page 87. Page 87, non-disclosure of social development fund, parenthesis open, ArcelorMittal Liberia. Did you receive any money from AML in 2019?
Page 87, sorry.
You got it?
Yes, I mean.
Okay, great. So if you just joined us here tonight, you're listening to the Heat Hour. And of course, it's very heated here tonight. Former PMC chairman, Mr. Peterson Walker, is here tonight. And of course, we are discussing the audit report, the GSE audit report. One of the things that he has mentioned here tonight is the variance that, quote unquote, the auditor said they didn't provide documentation of. He's saying we cannot provide document of money we didn't use. So that's a breaking news. And after the show,
document, that's it. We cannot provide expenditure document for the money we did not use. That's what I'm saying. There are documentation that can tell you say the money left there. Yes. Okay.
Before you go, I beg you, let my brother clarify this, and then we'll move on. Because we got a lot of people. Because that's a great point you made, right? And people who are not finance savvy will be like, yeah, that's exactly why you asking the man to account for money he did not spend. And that's the argument my brother is making here based on cash, on hand, something. But here's the question that an auditor will ask you, or someone, layman like myself will ask you. If you can prove, if you guys, when you took over, if you could prove a bank statement balance with report that shows that. And then when you are turning it over, because everything has to reconcile, right? It can't just say cash. The 1 million that you never just left, which of the money that you spent, from the beginning when you took over, and when you were turning over, if you turn that over with documents to support that.
So, CEO, like I said, when Peterson Walker started in the county,
and this is the last question on this, I promise.
Yes, when I entered in Nima County administration, there were auditor immediately. The same month I entered, there were audit engagement letter. At the time, there were some challenges because my predecessor, I have to work to cover it up for my predecessor. And I set up the record right, installed automated financial system. They mentioned that. That's why when I read that, I got disappointed from GSE, especially on this point that there were no automated financial software. You tell the Nima County you don't have automated financial software? It is one thing that anybody can, besides us, anybody can challenge you for. So
no,
we were audited.
For me, I believe that point. I beg you, before you continue, I believe that
don't
point.
Believe it. Jion, don't believe it. I'm telling you, don't believe it. When Peterson Walker entered 2023, in Kokopa, I used QuickBooks financial automated system. No company, no government institution in Liberia using QuickBooks beside Nima County. Ask any professional person that really came to Nima and review Nima record. So you're saying that Nima County does not have automated financial system unless when I left, the people left it.
Yeah.
But when I was there, I brought it from Kokopa. I installed it in Nima County. I have people who came from Morovia set it system up, and the system is running now. You go to Mananko now, the system is running. So why were you auditor? I responded to you and told you that and gave you the software. The software, you told me you know the software. I gave it to you. You turn around and come back to us and telling us there is no trial balance, there is no this, there is no system. So then why?
So here is the
let me answer the CEO.
No, wait, before you answer the CEO, this is where I'm getting it complicated from you. You responded to the audit. Your response within the audit report is quite different from these things you're telling us here tonight.
No, I'm saying I challenge the auditor to tell me this is my response. Nobody can tell me that my response there. Nobody.
Are you saying they fabricated these responses?
I cannot say they fabricated. That's why I'm saying my predecessors, lots of people who succeeded me may have responded. After we send our response, they may have responded. So the auditor may choose that because they have longer period, right? They have longer period.
Yeah.
So that period they work there, they get their response. The auditor may have taken that response. I don't know what it is. But I'm telling you, the response that came from me, it is not what I'm saying there. So I did not respond to auditor that I do not have automated financial system. There are IT personnel that we pay them from the county money to come and set up that system. And we pay them through, they did those work. So you're telling me it's not there? Then it means my predecessor did not make use of it. That's what I'm encouraging, like Harrison and Santa Clara, if they are available, they can come here. If they are around, they can come and make them clear that if they're the one that respond to this and tell them, say, do we never have any system, then they can say that. But we had audit reports from that period with a balance, and that balance is on book.
Okay.
I don't have it in my mind.
You don't have it.
When we were leaving, the system I'm talking about, every month, before you spend, you reconcile the account, you reconcile with the system. The bank balance and your book balance must be equal before you move further. Okay? So when we were ending up, that balance is seen the 690,000 something, it is the balance that on book. So if you tell me that there was no balance, no financial record, it means you yourself, you need to think. Maybe it's Harry Zimmerman that told them that, or any person that told them that. But I can tell you clear up, there were reports, there was system there.
So when Peterson Walker was leaving, the 690,000, it corresponded with the bank balance,
right,
and the balance and that's why you turn over.
Right, that's what my team.
Remember, you were not there though. You were
my
not
team.
there.
When I'm saying I turned, I said my team. I kept saying my team because why? In fact, there was some period that myself did not sign check. Right, myself, I did not sign some check, and they are all incorporated within the period I said, because I was serving there, and the law is clear. In that, when you go in detail of these things, the supporting documents is clearly say that somebody will sign, you're going to be there. But we are responding generically because of the period we work with. And the system, it was not possible that the system you set up, it is in a twinkling of an eye, like 3 months period, then the people you leave there, they just went ahead and crossed, cancel everything.
You can't say that. That's Liberia, my brother. You can't say that. So
well, no, I'm speaking from my own thinking, right? It could work, but then it would be for the supporting documentation.
Yeah, and myself, I'm familiar with QuickBooks, so you can't dismiss that. But here's what I would say though: the auditor, this audit report is a professional, as you know, from your background, is a professional.
Yes, I know.
Really detailed, one of the best audit reports I have seen. I will find it again. I'm not accusing anyone. I will find it hard for those guys, those professional guys, the GAC, to come up with report that is not supported by professional backing. And your stand is different. Your stand is different, and I respect that. I understand where you come from. But again, you are speaking for yourself here, and you are speaking based on what you know.
Right.
It makes it a little tight, because if I'm in office and I'm turning things over, I will have to be there, Peterson. Even in the country we live, before we turn things over, I will have to be there and say, Mr. Walker, here's the report, and I'm signing off of it. But we're talking about Liberia, you different place.
Nobody cares.
Yeah, you turn the thing over. So I don't think we should really go hard on this auditor. They are going on they saw and what they know. So I understand your point again. Thanks for clarifying that part. But I believe the auditor, what they're saying, they won't make up anything in there. You are clarifying it, you are making your point. But what really baffles me is the fact that they spoke with you and they interviewed you, you gave your point. And like you said, you don't know what the other people said behind you there.
Yeah, I don't know what it said.
Yeah, you don't know what it said.
That's what I'm saying.
So we'll leave it as is.
I don't know what it said.
Yeah.
And the CEO moving up. If my colleagues have said different things, like last night when you sent this copy to me, I quickly went through it. I immediately messaged the controller, because if the controller Gompa was slowed down and the audit focus person Joyce have been working, and we responded to most of those stuff. I sent it to him. I said, Gompa, what am I seeing different information from what we responded to? He said, myself, I don't know, but I will try to reach out to these guys. So again, I tell you again, our colleagues who spend longer time, they may have given different response to the auditor. So you can't hold the auditor, to say they are completely wrong. So for me, I can say that my position about it is clear, that the period I served, responses that I gave, they should reflect what I seen. But because I make specific responses to those things, and those responses I'm not seeing them. Like the audit, like you talk about financial reporting system, the system that I set up, I worked with for like almost half of a decade, and you can't tell me, say, it is not there without acknowledging that yes, they have this, and maybe certain time they don't have staff. Then I will understand. That's the point I'm making here. But totally, the work is, yes, it's detailed, and I can tell you there are material mistakes that people will acknowledge in this audit report. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Again, we want to stick to your side of the report. We'll try to get the other guys to come on here, to make things clear. Now, I'm taking you to page 87 because there is something that I don't understand there. And that page 87, according to the auditors, their observation, the ArcelorMittal money that was given to the county, some of them were not accounted for. But if you check under your period, which is 2019, you will see 0. Absolutely, there is no money mentioned there for the amount dispersed to the county or the amount given in kinds.
So, John, I was telling you again, and I was telling you were accurate. Why was this? This is where you seen it. I told you the money that you seen there, we have money in the covenant, and we added it to our budget and gave us the total fiscal budget period amount. So we did not receive money, so we cannot say we received that money. So during that period, we didn't receive money from them. But if that portion is not talking about the scrap, that portion is only talking about the money from Mittal.
Yes,
the money
we coming to the scrap.
Right, government can give to the county. That particular money, NEMA did not receive it in that period. So
okay, now it's very, very good. So I understand your point now.
It's just validating that, yes, we never received extra money, but the money we had in covered, that's the one we spent. The one I remain over there, it was, I'm just telling you that. It's just validating.
Okay, great. So I understand your point. 2019, you didn't receive money, and this particular ArcelorMittal 2019 can admit it in a report because I'm seeing totally 0. Now let's move on to page 89. TK, welcome. This is where I want you guys to ask all of your major questions. Now, page 89, it talks about the scraps.
Yeah.
Now, the fiscal year 2018, from January 2018 to December 2018, approximately 2-point-something million got generated from the scrap. Now, according to the observation of the auditors here, number one, they said no evidence of policy to regulate the projection, collection, and recording of internally generated revenue. That's one. Two, they said internally generated revenue was not comprehensively projected and reported in the approved internal budget of the county. 3, county's account internally, 3 says internally generated revenue was collected through cash and not deposited in the internal generated account of the county. Meaning you used to go and collect our money in cash. He doesn't work as PNC chairman. We go and say, gentlemen, I don't want to be the PNC chairman. They scrap money, where is it?
Yeah, give it.
So that what the report saying, and I mean saying, this is what
right, go ahead.
Great. 2, the next point say no evidence of reconciliation between cash collected and cash subsequently deposited in the county's account. I want to go back to this again. No evidence of reconciliation between cash collected and cash subsequently deposited in the county's account. Now, second to the last here, it says approved proceeds were not consistent with scrap sales reported on receipt. Approved proceeds were not consistent with scrap sales on receipt and invoice. Meaning,
you read that thing plenty. I just want to give you a very short.
So,
short.
Let's go to your part here.
This is how the local government works. The project management committee is not part of the county administration. In terms of administrative management of the county activities, the superintendent, the development superintendent, the assistant superintendent for fiscal affairs, mainly assistant superintendent for fiscal affairs, then the county inspector, they are the people who make decisions about when it comes to those key things. Notwithstanding, if there is a key If they see a value in you as a project manager and they want you to contribute, they call you, you contribute. That is in a context of you to provide maybe some professional involvement into some other activities. When it comes to the scrap activities, the first thing from my knowledge, what I know about this particular account, I responded a little bit and I left it with Gompa, I left it with Superintendent Cooper and Gompa to end it up, but the response was clear. In our response to this, I clearly made them to know that the scrap activities was not tied to PMC functionalities. We were not responsible for that. Only if the money have come from the scrap and enter the cover of the project, then we take responsibility to manage that money. But we were not responsible to collect that money. Notwithstanding, the county council set up a team, a system. A system that was set up by the county council was there were 5-man committee that were clearly assigned to the scrap and spread out in the county council. And as 5-man committee were responsible to take all the data, the scrap that is leaving from Yigepa to go Monrovia, they have the documentation and what have you. What the auditor is missing up there is apparently there were how you call it, manual scrap sales that the few people doing the scrap something, when they are taking it out of the county, they pay certain fees to the county administration. That is the cash collection. Like somebody get a little small pickup scrap and they're taking it to Monrovia. They got a county liaison officer that used to collect that money. The town was there. And sometimes they gave $150 to the county. Okay? Something that, but the scrap itself, money that is listed, John, whoever to go and take cash of $51 million and 51,000 United States dollars in cash. Who can do that? Who can do that? Nobody can do that. So what I know, the first check that came from those people, it was a check, I think it's in 50,000 something. It was a check that was deposited to the county account. So no scrap that went to like SETI, that went to the, how you call it, these people, the other guys that came in as cash. No. They collected cash, but the cash they're talking about there, it is these small scrap they're taking, because before you pass with that scrap, you got to go to the office of the county liaison officer and pay that money. They give you receipt. That one is different, and that which I didn't know how the management was set up. I don't know how they did those things because it was not in my reach. But from my knowledge of the bigger ones, nobody collected cash for that one. No, they contract with this scrap for Yigepa. Nobody collected cash. If they collected cash, maybe Peterson have left, or I don't know about it. But what I know about is clearly what I'm telling you. The smaller cash you're talking about is not a meat scrap. So the report there is messing up everything. I mean, it's comprehensive. That which I love. It's comprehensive. It takes all the nitty-gritty of those small things and put it together and make it a report. And I can tell you, I agree with them. There should have been a fully designed policy by maybe the people who are supposed to do it. You know, it's not my play to do that if I'm not being contacted. But I can say yes, there should have been something like that. But again, to say that there was cash collected when you're talking about,
so who are responsible for collecting the money from the scrap?
They collecting that small.
No, the B one, the me one.
The B1. I think they get a scrap. I call it management committee.
So who the scrap management committee reported to?
The superintendent.
Okay, so the folks that were responsible for collecting the big money from the means sale of the scrap reported directly to your boss.
Yeah, they reported to the superintendent. Not me.
And who was the boss that time?
You look at the period there.
I
want to see you on top of me.
So you say,
I'm just saying the report. I mean, we are looking at it that way, but it's clear that the period I was there, for me, I served three different
before DK came in, Peterson, in all fairness to the auditor here, they are reporting on the leadership, the entire team.
Yeah, I agree.
If you say the scrap was handled by this 4 man, and you just clarify the full man report that to your boss, so it's clear right there.
Yeah,
But anyway,
I agree. This is why I keep saying the document is comprehensive.
It is.
But when anybody hears that, they hear that DK name is in the audit report, they will start flying with it. But they didn't know whether DK was just a messenger there. They didn't know.
But the way you want to call your boss name, anyway.
No, why are they? I can't call the people. I work with a lot of people that all of them work with the scrap.
I
started with President Dagadu. President Dagadu was the person that initiated all of the scrap bidding process and what have you. Honorable Fonso Agle King. Fonso Agle was the person who consummated the contract and some of them. Honorable Dokuba Kim. Dokuba was the one that ended the process of it. Not in it. That there's some other documentation as well. The Nelson Nelson Kwekwe. I come in now. Nelson Kwekwe was the person who ended with all of the money coming, the cover and whatever. So I don't know which period exactly that beginning of 2029. Dokuba did not end the 2029. I think so. Okay.
No, Dokuba finished 2020.
He finished 2020. Oh, okay. I was not there at that time. Okay. So yes. So that's why it says.
So DK, welcome. We will go to this, and then maybe we'll go to the next point, and we try to leave our man here.
Yeah, we can go in depth wherever you want.
So we're going to all your own side of it, all the side you get, and after here we'll be moving to your salary. The way you guys need to set your own salary is within the report, so we'll go to that. But before we do that, the scrap issue, DK, welcome.
DK, you freeze?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
is that for me?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Welcome.
Oh, I thought the freezing was from June end. No. So yeah, thank you, Chairman. Welcome. My first question to you is: how do you feel when your name is mentioned in an audit report?
I feel glad. Let me tell you something, DK. Audit report is telling you what did you do when you were in the county administration. If you were a sweeper, your name would never come in the audit report. If you were not a leader in a county, your name would never appear in audit report. Name appearing in audit report is based on the professional activities that you were involved with when you were in certain area. What I will not take, I will not even compromise my character for is an audit report that indicts Peterson Walker. It means I compromised my profession, I compromised the future of my children, and I was not able to do the best thing when I was serving the people. And that's the reason I really, really admire Cole, Superintendent Cole, for initiating the audit. I'm really, really happy. Okay? So yes, my name appearing in audit report. I was in Kokopa. My name appearing in audit report there, and you can go see the result. I mean, from our documentation, it does not tell me, say, I embezzle anything. I was right in my county when I took over let's say a month, they came with audit. My name was in the audit report. Does that mean that I the one running the county for the past 6 years or 12 years that they audited? No. Now, Superintendent called me up, no name is in the audit report. What it means, it doesn't mean that she embezzled anything. So audit report need appearing in audit report, it does not mean anything. I'm happy that I'm playing a role. Yes, that's why my name is there. I'm playing a role.
My next question to you is: does this audit report single anything of wrongdoing by the administrations you work with?
Yeah, I can say there were some mistake that needs to work on by the administration I work with. I made that there were some mistakes, and those mistakes are not something that is grievous that will call you to say you have embezzled. No, but it's like a policeman standing in front of the area you're driving, you're going, and the policeman stop you. The policeman stop you, come to the car and tell you, why are you running like this? He say, oh no, I have a little thing. Say you are exceeded the speed limit. I will give you a ticket. Now, what does it mean? Have you done wrong? Yes, because you exceeded the speed limit. But have you committed hideous crime that you can be penalized for? That's the question that somebody will respond to. and you will answer it from the perspective you are seeing things. So this audit report, for example, I can say that the auditor said there were no approved financial manual during that period, but there were financial manual. Who prepared that financial manual is Peterson Walker. I prepared that financial manual. It was being for Zagneta. I knocked on the door. The superintendent signed it. It left Dokubo King. I still knocked on the door for him to sign it. That document was not signed. By the time the auditor said, "Where is the financial manual?" I pulled it out and gave it to them. They said, "Why the superintendent? Why the other people did not approve it?" I said, "Well, that's another story. But for me, I prepared the manual." So it was a right that we have a financial manual working with it along with the PPCC law, along with the PFM law. Yes, we have a county financial manual, but that manual was not signed by the authority because of one or two things. Maybe basic, maybe the attention was, maybe we did not press on it enough.
Man, don't say that. We're gonna visit the sign.
No, I'm saying, no, DK asked me a specific question. I want to be clear to this issue.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. But I can tell you there were financial manual. So that's why the auditor now changed their tune, saying there were no approved, because their first thing they said was there were no financial manual. When they asked me, I presented the financial manual and they saw that it was not signed, and then they came up with that and said there was no approved. So I can say yes, there were some things that even we speak volume. If I am a head of an entity, there are certain things that you need to privatize to do. And it's a lesson for everybody. I know that.
My next question is on the financial manual. It wasn't signed by two superintendents. What does it mean?
So,
meaning it was just a flying sheet.
No,
because
no,
you can prepare. You can okay. Let me make it this for so clarity, because I'm not understanding that. You prepare something as a guardian.
Mm-hmm.
You prepare something to guard all financial transactions with money that you manage for us in NEMA. But those who were to approve it, to give you go ahead, decline, 2% decline.
No, they didn't decline. One of the things they were fighting with is this. I just mentioned, one of the things they were fighting with is this. There is the PFM law. The PFM law, it is a globally, let's say it's a national document that guides all financial operations. There is the budget law that guides you on how you do these things. There is a PPCC law. There are a lot of laws that guide people in doing these things. But coming up with a soft manual, even though I agree with those things, but coming up with a soft manual, it needed to take time to review it and take time, make consultation with the Internal Affairs Minister, make consultation with bosses before they get it signed. So in that process, people may have forgotten, because there's government, is not corporation. This is not a small business to say, if I do it for myself today, I've done it for my business. So if you sign on, or if you sanction certain thing, it's going across, and it is that happening in the other areas? Is that happening in other counties? Is that what the local government acts, or the local government does? So they needed to make a lot of consultation. So in this process, if it is not approved, and you say there was no financial manual, I said no, there were manual. It was on a review. So the review process went on, and that's government. They will not wait for you. When you're talking, they'll fire you and bring different person.
So PSN, the budget law gave you certain things to do at certain time.
Right.
Including the Local Government Act and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
This financial manual that was prepared by you, that wasn't signed by two superintendents, it didn't have any time limit?
No financial manual, what time limit it has? It's a procedure that set you to say that when we pay your way to go to Monrovia, we'll give you $2. But the PFM law says the person going, you should be able to pay the person this money. So some of us were thinking that particular money you talk about, maybe it may high and we reduce it. So to do the right one, what the superintendent does. Review it and make consultation to see if, yes, they can go with it. But in my perspective, as a person, as somebody who in the stuff, I need to draft something and give it to my boss to review. So what I'm saying is, in the revision process, if it's taking long to fire you, you will not come back to review it. Another person will take it over.
Yeah.
So the person, that's how it works.
To DK's point, and then you also made a point that I think is very important. So they have all the manuals, they have all the regulation that governs accounting across the board. Something similar to what they have, the gap and all those things. But the auditors, they are right then. They are 100% right. So your manual was not approved. It could have been, no pun intended, substandard. It could have been something that's not correct. Because we didn't want that thing. They didn't want it. Maybe the superintendent thought it was not correct. But so when the auditor comes out and says there was no manual, and you presented it, I say, yeah, there was manual, but it was not approved. No, it was not approved. It could not be approved for so many reasons. So
many reasons.
So let me ask my question here.
I was lining up. DK asked me, what you think is like this, you could acknowledge. That's what I'm trying to acknowledge, certain things, right?
Okay.
I'm acknowledging these things. It does not mean that the operation was done in vacuum, right? There were key laws that were governing the activities while you're performing. But the auditor concern is, in spite of all of these, generic stuff, what did you make local, direct? Okay? So when I presented that, they said it needed to have been signed. I said, you're right. I'm mentioning that, yes, they made a point. They had a point because it was not signed.
Yeah.
And they said it was not signed. Their first statement was it was not available. But when we presented, they read it, they said yes, but why couldn't they sign it? I said, well, that one is for another question. Another answer.
Your boss will answer. But let me ask my question here before Junior can take over here. So going back to the scrap deal, the 4-man team reporting to the soup and all that. But was there any point in time, PMC as the chairman, did you and your team request report from them, the folks who were selling the scrap, as to say how much was sold for and where was deposited? Did you ever ask about
PMC? It's not PMC role to do that. It's not PMC responsibility. But we have a boss that we work with, the assistant superintendent of fiscal affairs. He manages the activities over there. Those people report to the soup, and the soup let him to look at those documents because that's his role.
Okay.
But for PMC is not PMC role unless they say the money are gone. So we go to county sitting, they take the money, they put it, they make a budget for it, then it becomes PMC responsibility to manage. So no, I don't have that role to ask anybody to give me report for scrap. No.
Thank you. And then we want to clarify it. So our brother Peterson is only discussing the time he was there for. He's not talking for the other people.
No.
Every discussion here tonight surrounds it. What is time frame again?
2018 to
2018 to 2019. That's the time we are discussing here. Everything else, the other folks, they have their own, clarification to make.
Thank you. So before we go to this will be our second to the last. I want to ask you this question. I want to put you on record for that, Peterson. The report 2018-2019 is saying that you received certain money, and you are saying here tonight that money didn't, appear in your account.
Which money is I received? John, make it clear.
So I'm going back to the 2018-2019 overturn. Is it overturn? Is that the right? Okay, let me get it.
Overturn is not necessarily that you receive now. It's the money that was budgeted. Now that what I'm saying.
So the money that was budgeted, that's what I'm saying now. So the money that was budgeted, did you receive it?
No, we didn't receive.
You didn't receive it.
We didn't receive money sale for that period. Yes.
So that's what I want to ask. Now the report is saying that you received the money, but you are saying that you didn't receive the money. If there is an indictment from this report, to quote Peterson Walker, will you go to clarify in court with your supporting document? I want to put you on record.
John, the period that we serve, the audit, if there was something that the auditor themselves come and sit before your camera to discuss this report, they will not have much thing to talk about the period we said. I come in. That question you asked, it is not yes or no question, but it's question to give your position for people to understand. That's why I want to answer it that way.
Okay, go ahead.
That period you're talking about, government did not give money to the county, but there was money in the county. So if they say they are indicting, there is nothing to indict about them. That's a point I want to re-emphasize. There is nothing of indictment between 2018 to 2019 with that 690,000 over there. Even the lawyers said that they were used to indict. We'll just not make their own time to talk about it because it doesn't make sense to indict people for that. So there is nothing lost. If there is nothing lost, why are you indicting somebody? So I don't want you to think that there's something for indictment. I just want to make that clear for people because one of the reasons that we want to make our position clear, also to provide clarity, is for people to understand the document before them. The document before them talk about variance without documentation. Spending variance. There's variance spent without documentation. It is an oversight to include overage mentioned in the honor variance spent. It doesn't work that way. You don't put.
So now, there where I'm asking you the question from.
You can't indict for that. So if you say you're indicting people for leaving money in the area, yes, I will come and tell you if any other documentation you want, because we didn't spend that money and you ask for, we will provide it. It's right. In fact, it's not with me. That's the first thing. It's not with me. Everything is in the system right there in the Insani Code.
But so people say no document to the thing. So how is it?
No auditor can sit before you and tell you, say, between 2018 to 2019 of their audit, they don't have document. I'm telling you that no auditor can say that. If you tell auditor Peterson say between this period, there are documentation, you have those documentation. In fact, I made the audit focus person to allow them to sign for those documents they were carrying in Monrovia. I Peterson made that because I'm experienced from audit. I'm not somebody who just the first time they auditing. So every document I was taking, they would sign for it. So you can't tell me that there was no document for that. So it's not possible for that. So I'm not talking about my police. That's why I'm saying it's better than Harris Enemy or Santa Cruz come and provide clarity why they don't have document for that time and stuff like that and something. But for the period we share.
Yeah, your time period by is short.
Right there.
For you is short. Now going to the PMC staff, how did you guys used to pay each other? Who decide your salary and by what means? And from which cover? Were you paid by the Internal Affairs Ministry or you were paid from the county cover? Which one?
Who pays somebody? The person that employ you, that person pay you, right?
Yeah.
The management that employ you, that management pay you.
Were you employed by Internal Affairs or you were employed by the county?
That's the question I want you to ask. I was employed by Nima County people. So I was to be paid from Nima County coverage. So this is how the salary works. In fact, when I came to PMC, 4 months I didn't get paid because they were still discussing what salary they should give to Peterson. And that should commensurate with the workload and the work I was doing. And there were a lot of recommendations that would have cost me to even resign. And that's why I always tell people, anybody I can say, some representation is very good. You will not forget about them. There are a few individual lawmakers who evaluated the work, the performance of the short period of time after the audit. The work we did is said, no, this person here with this kind of qualification and the kind of profession, he needs to be paid this. So the caucus will agree and set a salary for the management team. And then the management team will do a local recruits. Within the administrative budget, The law is clear that max of 10% can be used of the income or of the money that is remitted should be used for salary. So the max of 10% is where you look in to set up the administrative structure salary. The cost of the project is similar to extent to the cost of the project. Max of 10% should be used to do a local people, operators, mechanics, and all of these people, you set their salary. So that's how that procedure works. Now, in 2015, I'm not making a mistake. I make the recommendation to the superintendent that we needed to have a direct deposit proceeding because it's not convenient for an operator who goes to Tapeta, who is working on B at that time, we're working B and Doru. If the operator wants to get their money anytime, they could be able to get their money. So I made a recommendation, and Superintendent Fonso, they signed the paper. We sent it to the bank. The bank decided to open the account. But another thing again, to come from B and Doru, can't open the account and go, they can't come. Operator kept batching up, but we have already set up the system. Some people have already opened their account, and majority of the field workers can't go and open their account. It took another 3 months to put their money sitting to the bank. The late Dono at the time, LBDR, I said, Peterson, these people are not coming to open their account. Can you guys send somebody that will take their money to them? I say, yes, we can do that. I discussed with the superintendent, they agreed. So, okay, so what we can do, since you guys, some of the officers are around here, get their own account. The other people who can come will give you people, I call it a check or payment. We will pay the money, their money will collect it and give it to the person to go on a fee and pay them. That's where you saw that receiving a money bundle to go and pay on a field while direct deposit system was in place. That's where you saw that came in. And it was at the time we used to I used to tell them, okay, control what you do if those people that are here when their money is in their account, the other people in Tapeta, the other people in like a Booyah area, those are far off, you'll take their money and carry it to them. So that's how it works. That's how the payment system, that's how we set it up.
Thank you. Let me comment that. We got another man going to ask questions. Let me ask my other question before.
Yeah, go ahead.
You said, the man enjoying the conversation is entertaining. It's not one-sided. No. People feel that when you ask questions, is offended and all that. But that's not what we do. It's a little hard because you are a panelist. So other guests might say, yeah, the man are panelist, so the man used to the whole thing. No. But here's my question though. Talking about the salary and the oversight and all that good stuff. When was the last time they had a county sitting when you were there? The last time? Or maybe let me put it this way.
It could be 2018. Can I see it?
Okay. So the year under review, the time frame we're going on, was that county sitting that you remember?
For my period?
Yeah, period. The one we
the one I'm saying, it should be 2018. Yeah, okay. 2015 we had a county sitting that got elected. 2018 we have a county sitting just to set up budget and what have you, and then all of that. But the basic thing after that, there are other administrative proceeding that is already also recognized. That is a resolution. If there is no county sitting, the caucus can have a resolution to approve certain expenditure. Yes, that's the other side of it.
Okay. So the question I wanted to ask, I will skip that because I think it had a lot to do with county sitting, but it will be on the other guys because I don't know how they were spending millions and millions of dollars without oversight. But what topic else you have, Junior? Because I want to ask them about Booyah.
Yeah, so we're going next to, we're still on the payment issue.
Yeah.
Now, the audit report, according to them. Now, if you have the report, I want you to go to page 127. This is where I get my little issue with my own big brother Peterson and stuff.
127.
127, yes. So because I'm figuring out 127 because your year is mentioned, so that we can discuss that short. Now, to page 127, if you read the Annex 6, there it said payment without evidence of adequate supporting document, July 2018 to December 2018.
Yeah.
Now, according to the report, July 2018, you receive some money for salary area to PMC staff and supporting staff for the month of January 2018 with a check number of 859, and that amount was $7,605. According to the report, there is no adequate evidence or document to support this money, but you guys went and collected it.
So, Jim, if you were not in Liberia, this period you're talking about, the PMC had been working, and in fact, there were no money coming, and the resolution had not been approved. There were riot, unless not riot, there were demonstrations in Ganta. Anybody can attest to that. We prepare payroll and pay staff. They said there is no adequate documentation. So that is, you have the payroll, you don't have a timesheet because they were not on the field working. And it is because we never have money to send them on the field. So it was on the part of the county. So the county has said, okay, we're going to pay you people regardless of, because the money are not come and you guys are not working, and we'll pay you people. And there was yes, you prepare a payroll for the period. And there was a payroll prepared for the period. That's the check number. And that's the payment amount. That money was not for one person. It was for a group of people money there. So there is adequate documentation. It was not clear. I think we responded to this. Let me see if that response was captured as well. Because, oh no, this is appendix. This is appendix. So the appendix is telling you their observation. Yes, they will say that because, and one of the things I'm seeing, maybe that one will come later when we finish my closing statement. I will come with that. But again, there were documentation to prove that these people received this money. The adequate documentation may have meant different things, but there were receipts, let's say signature card that everybody signed for their money, and there was check that was paid. The money was not paid on counter. And the money was not like they paid to Peterson Walker. No. So yes, there were documentation for people who received that money. And
so
the document is there.
Let's put it this way. They said payment without evidence of adequate supporting document. Meaning, should I say that when they call you for interview, you didn't provide those documents to them?
They get a document.
No, what that basically means, the auditors, they are not happy with the document. They don't feel it's enough to justify the numbers. So Peterson is making his point, just like in your law team, he's making his point. He's going to say what he knows, he's going to prove what he knows, and he will make his point. But it's up to the auditors to agree to accept some of the receipt, the documents they are providing. So if the auditor doesn't like it, they can make whatever note they put in there and say
that. And one other thing I want to, CEO, thank you. One other thing I want to say that is, I agree with them on certain things there in the report. I mean, many people are not saying that. If I say it, people say, "Oh, you're bringing this thing," nobody saw it. One of the things I agree with them was, they said the contracting process, the contracts between the local contractor and us was not available.
Yeah.
No, we coming there. We coming there.
Let me talk about it. That was the place I was having problem with my team that I left from ground. That document, all of those, the PMC.
So, now let me ask you the question before you jump ahead and go to it. This is our last point. How was verification process done before contracts are allocated to contractors?
Some of those guys that were contracted by us, they are still in Sannico, they are working there. Some of them took tests, especially those guys that were doing the field, to go on the field for maybe supply officer, and those people, they took tests. And those people were yellow machine operators. They were evaluated by going to the machine, send your information in, and you go, the senior operator tests you on the machine. We had people who were like machine boys. Those machine boys, their recruitment was based on, we announced it, they come, and then we list them up. And that period came from as back as my predecessor, Clinton Lewa time. And these
with the issue of contractors, companies that
these are the contractors they're talking about there, my brother. They are not, because they are not the employees directly from the county council. They are contractor. They were working along with us, so we recruited them. So some of those, the supply officer, in fact, all of the supply officers took tests. They took tests, and we did their contract. This document was on file when I left. But when the auditors raised the issue, I asked, we check. My guys have taken all our documents. Maybe when they came on board, they said they were changing the location of the document. They carried the box file to the other place where we have our area in. When you're going towards the town, in your right, we're parking our machines, and now is where the army is. They changed the document location. They carried the document in our storage area. They couldn't get trace of it. Now, when the auditor raised our issue, I got vexed with him. I said, yes, those our guys that took over, they should have kept these documents right in this office. But they changed the location. As such, when it was not available, the auditor mentioned it. I mean, I really noted that. I noted that. I said, yes, this one, you are right, because their recruitment document, I did it, I signed it, came from back then. It was not in 2018. In fact, it was not 2018 that we signed our document. We signed our document as back as 2023. Most of those people that came were 2023, not 2013. When we took over, 2013, April, we get the first 800,000 for Nima County for us to go on the field of work. It was when we recruited these guys. So every month, in the terminology in the document, if you are not terminated, your contract immediately, renew every 6 months. So there were no reason for us to go back and do all of these things. So they were on fire. But then when the fire got missing by changing location, then we couldn't get that. So I agree with the auditors that we never saw the contract document. I agree with them. I mean, the guy, he said, Master, we talked. He said, it is not available, Mr. Walker. I said, you're right. Because it was there and you didn't see it, it's worth mentioning. So that's what happened to it. But nobody was like paying themselves out of no means. And no, there were ways that we get paid.
So what about the companies that you guys used to hire to do some of those construction work?
John, the good thing is some of our people are in Liberia. Mm-hmm. The only thing I don't like about Liberian people, when there's good things, you don't talk about it. The bad thing is the one you fly with. There were local companies that will work with them.
So while we are hearing here, I want you to clarify this. Alleged information we're gathering is that some of you guys within the county administration that time and within the PMC, you went and set your own company and you used to outlaw contract to your very self.
That's exactly what I come to speak. All that thing you've been hearing people directly been talking to me on it, Gio.
So honor your administration. Did you experience anything of such?
The number of people listening and the number of people who watch the video. I'm speaking. Mm-hmm. There is no construction company in that place there that will get contractor that will tell you, say, Peterson was the owner of this contract, of this project. There's no company down there that Peterson.
No, any of your staff, not you, because you were the head of my contract.
No, it was because when you are sending documentation out for bid evaluation, you send the article of incorporation, you send the the registration document, the receipt, everything is sent to the team. Myself don't do bid evaluation. So this document we send it, the rule is all of the owners of this particular company, they should not be a part of this entity. So there is no document, there is no bid evaluation report that ever flagged out one person in my team that was having a company. And this is not possible. The first thing is, if you are a part of the team and your needs surface, we're going to cancel that. We're going to cancel that particular bid. And there were some things we did in our place that people are not talking about it. That what I'm saying that what I started with a statement, that is the downsides of our society. If certain people have done something that is worth to mention, you need to mention that. And you want to fry them for certain things, then you go ahead. During our period honor review, there were challenges. I can't tell you it was roses. No, there were serious challenges, especially when it comes to project implementation, Gion. That's why when my Gion brothers, when they took over, I advised them, but they took it out of something and it said something went different way. But I'm telling you, there were challenges. One of the companies, in fact, I will not call the person name. One of the companies, he applied to us. He went through the process. He was very, very good. All the documentation was well and everything was okay. We gave him project. And then he went, after we did the first payment, he couldn't continue the project. So you know what we did? We canceled that project and rebid that project, and another company took that project. They finished the project, we paid them. So what am I saying? That we were very keen. In fact, the policy we set up was pre-finance. You hearing pre-finance method today? The time our period we had pre-finance method, you never used to have that, because the pre-finance method says a Gion construction company comes. If Gion go through the process and Gion is qualified, Gion will commit 30% of his own resources into the project. And that policy was introduced by Peterson. When that policy got introduced, it got introduced when I came 2013, and the former development superintendent had problem with people who were implementing project for the county. When he jailed them, when I came, I said, well, these people, what was the reason they were jailed? Because they couldn't complete the project. And why they couldn't complete the project? They took money from the government, and the money they took, the project fall on them. So they couldn't complete it. So what I decided was, you know what? Before you take any project from us, before we pay you, you may have committed 30% of your income, of your resources, your own resources to the project. And after that, we pay you 35%. 35% we pay you, we pay your first 30%, and then the 5% will help you to go ahead with your cost and things. So that thing was working well. And these things we did, and those people who signed those projects, definitely.
Thank you.
They will tell you.
Thank you. You've been here for a very long time, and I must admit, we've gone through all of your parts in the report. You explain yourself very well, and I hope and pray that the other guys will come on here. Before I go to the CEO, maybe you want to say one or two things before we let you go. Honor your regime.
Okay,
I know
CEO,
I want to ask my question.
Yeah, so we'll come to the Booyah thing so you can ask the question. Was it under your jurisdiction for the county's post meet to allot money to them? Was it under the jurisdiction of the PMC channel?
My brother, that's an OH problem with the allotting money. Yeah, my jurisdiction, under my jurisdiction, the county council allotted money to the sports meet. Even my predecessor, county council allotting money for the sports meet, OH is not. You can't blame one person for it right now, because
the reason why I'm asking you is because the issue of pre-financing was mentioned in the report, even though your year was not captured, but the period between 2022, 2023, 2021, we saw pre-financing that.
No, that pre-financing is different, Jim.
We saw pre-financing that couldn't correspond with the money that they received from the county administration. So it is also alleged that you guys from the PMC, you always go to those people and tell them, tell the county that you pre-finance 400,000 when the actual money is 200,000 that they can account for.
Come on, man. Yes, that's why I started this conversation today. I said, not everybody that no figure is financial person. I made that statement today. People who understood me. Mm-hmm. It makes no sense that somebody maybe pre-finance, then you go to the person and say, my man, add it up, we will pay. It means you just don't know what they call finance. You don't know.
It could be corruption now.
Even if you are a corrupt person, it makes no sense. No sense that somebody say, somebody pre-finance with 1,000, you say, my man, make it 15,000. You can do that when you don't understand what you're doing. So I can say people who may have done it would have done it. But I can say one thing I can make clear is myself that here, the way the country go about paying money to the sports activities, I have problem with it. When I was right there in the county, my first sporting tour was with Regina Men. When I left from there, we went to Sando. When I left from there, the report I made, Regina Men can attest to it. And they let people now to start to do this thing. So that particular thing we need to do better and exclusively set up a sport management, a sport commission for NIMA. That sport commission will be tied with the responsibility to raise funds. Any fund we give to them, they will be accountable for audit separately. That's the only way we can solve that problem. If we don't, we just be giving them money, we'll just be building somebody's house, making somebody's business moving and stuff like that. We need to separate the sport commission for NIMA to be independent institution under this local government act, and they can be responsible, accountable to audit to any other institution like local entity.
Thank you. CEO, over to you now, Chief. You are muted.
We've had our brother for a long time, in as much as for one person, you come and take questions from 3 people. That's a lot. And Peterson, I want to say kudos to you, brother. Thank you so much for coming. I know you've been busy. You said next week you would start joining us actively, and we'll look forward to having you here. No, so when you were there, right? Did you guys allot any county development fund or social development fund to Buyao District 5 during that time frame?
Yes. When I was there during my time, we did a lot of work. And the period we served is now only 2019, 2018 now.
Okay. No, the reason we were sticking to that one, that's why.
So prior to that period, we had a lot of projects going on in Buyao. In fact, one of the things we focused on in doing Buyao was the road. To be, I'm connected strongly with Buyao.
Oh yeah. No, for now.
So we focused on the road, and yes, it just a roads, especially road that has to do with a dusty road. By the time you leave from there after 2 years, it's just like nobody I can hear. The DK way, man, after 40 years, no car could reach to a town. I don't want carry yellow machine to a town.
Yeah, man, but the report states, because a 5-year audit period states that District 5 never benefited from the county development fund. So what your money that you allocated to that, who took it? What happened?
No. The first thing is in 2019, when we did the procurement process and what have you, all of that procurement stuff we did that's supposed to capture that 1.4 million. When pre-disaster came, they canceled that. In fact, the yellow machine was ready in Buto when they canceled that procurement something and they want to do their own thing. That's the first thing I want to say. Besides that, when they did the county council sitting, Honorable Koga point was they can't bring absolutely new persons to take over that money. They will not be able to judiciously manage the funds. So they should have the old people, at least some of them should be among them. So it never went down well. That's how Gompad went in the house to bring a report. He left there, Senator Johnson conducted the election. And when he left from there, Orokoga took them to court. And from that period, he said the way they proceeded, he's convinced that these people will not be able to manage the fund well. So he's not going to contaminate himself with money coming from them. My brother, similarly, look at the project that the unfinished project. All the money that was committed during that period, all of them were unfinished. Nothing was finished.
So, but the money was allotted to the district, though. So again, not talking about.
It did not work. It was not allotted to the district 2019 and 2018. I mean 2018 to 2019. No, it was after the county council. That's when they allotted those funding to do the work. And because I don't know what was still ongoing, what was still between them, these guys decided not to continue with projects in our district. Okay. So the only best thing that you can do when those guys come on the platform, they can adjust.
Because before we go to DK, because this is the money now people are entitled to, and on there you can see in the report that basically the district has not benefited. I know you're explaining your part here, but 5 years period, the district did not benefit anything from the social development fund. But anyway, we've had you for a long time. DK will ask his last question. After his last question, then we'll take your parting statement. No, man, our panelists. So what we just do our parting statement.
We can just do what we can do.
Mine would not just be a question. I think I just want to tell Pearson thank you for coming. You know, here's in our report to be frank. Seeing our report and reading it, my blood in me keep boiling in me like I don't know what to say. So the best every one of you can do is to clear your side, because for tomorrow's sake, like I mentioned yesterday, if IKEA is not taking families whose names are mentioned in this, if they are not careful to clear their names, those things will go on for a long time and for generations. So I appreciate you for coming, at least for speaking on what you know and the part you play. This is a long journey for you. To be frank, this will be a long journey for you. But hopefully, if I were in your case and whoever named that case, if that's something that government want to take it to court, it's better to take the issue to court. You exonerate yourself and you be free. That clarity for court, for any other investigation for a court or competent jurisdiction will clear your name forever. Then this thing, just people were saying, oh, that thing will be swept under the carpet, meaning your name will be in something that you didn't do forever and for a long time. So that's the only thing I can say. Thank you for coming. I know you very well. You know, we just have to ask you all the tough questions that people think we need to ask. And we ourselves, like I said, PSA, man, that report. Anyway, y'all, thank you.
Okay.
So you will lead last. Okay. Yeah. So mine would just be, I think I have to buttress what DK said. I think he stole everything that I wanted to say. But the fact that you are even out here, you know, making your point and making the argument that, you know, name being in audit report doesn't automatically mean you did anything wrong. People get audited. Even Congress in the US here, big people get audited all the time and their names are in audit report. But like DK said, that stuff is damaging. Looking at the numbers, it's very hard to stomach, especially the ones that are after you there. And then one of the biggest issues that I think I asked you to know politically and savvily, you skip it, was that scrap money. A lot of money, you know, they sold the scrap and then the money is not, you can't really account for it. I didn't even know, said they have 4-man team that was reporting.
Five men committee
that reporting directly to the soup. And then there's no good account for that money. Now the people money, the Nema County money. And we have schools, Peter saying that place that kids are sitting, you know, on the floor, hospitals, some hospitals over there, or clinics over there don't even have medication. People are suffering. You know, I go Nema all the time, every year, and I see things with my own eyes. So the country that we come from, that we love so dearly, when you're seeing numbers like that, few people just stomaching and eating it, while the people that it was meant for are struggling. I think our forefathers will sit, you know, up there and look down at them. What are they doing? what are they doing? What are they doing to their own people? And we have people that can speak. The young people that are coming of the next generation. So I think it is incumbent upon all of us to do what we are doing and talk about it. It's nothing personal against anyone, but it's also not fair to Nimba County, the people of Nimba. No one is more Nimbayan than the other person. We all from there, we all have the birthright. You can't have few people taking the county's money, people struggling, and then enriching themselves overnight and doing all that. But again, I want to say thanks to you for coming. Your points are clear, not because you're on the show. You made a point. And I even told Junior, I said, man, an accounting is from an accounting background, so he will be able to clear things out. And again, caveat here, also a note here, disclaimer that the point on the discussion here, the time frame was just your time frame, the 1 year that was captured in the audit report. The rest of it is out there for argument. The folks who are alleged or their names are in there, they are required or supposed to go out there and make their point clear. And last thing before I say this, the turnover note, the turnover bank statement and reporting stuff, I know you were not there, but you did what you were supposed to do by the books. But again, that's Liberia. And I also respect the audit report. I think it's clear. I think it's very detailed. And I think they put a lot of time and effort in. Any professional, someone with financial background, auditing background, you see that, you will know that it was well put together. They did a really good job at it. Again, we'll be back here tomorrow again, and we look forward to having more discussion surrounding this.
Thank you. You guys have said it all, so I think the best I could do is to go to Peterson to give us his parting. But again, I asked Peterson today for their salary. I felt bad when I saw those salary for Harris Yenemi and his team. I don't know which kind of job that the PNC chairman is doing that you'll be making $3,200 every month as a basic salary. You got car assigned to you. This is within, I'm not talking about you now, I'm talking about within the report. Yeah. If you go to page 127, 3,000.
You're not making that amount, right? Yeah, you're not making that.
No.
So you are making.
How much you are making?
You're a politician. No, for me, my salary was not in here. The first thing to come up with my salary was they wanted to know what I can do. That's why it took 4 months. And they started me with $1,750 when I was controller. And treasurer, when I became chairman, they were paying me $2,025. And after tax, it fall into 1,008 something. So if we mention about 3,000, that's what. And I have master's degree. So when you say, I say I'm making it this. So I mean, that's huh?
Imagine that this is the period between 2018 to 2023. Yeah. At that time, when ArcelorMittal was still paying 1.5 million. Now that we coming increase to 2.5 million. Guess how much the 9-man council will be taking? This is bad, like the CEO and DK said. I mean, you guys want me to just go down and work within the P. I used to think that the whole PSC team, they used to be doing that there. People used to say with a volunteer where in fact the people not get salary. You can make it $3,200 per month with car assigned to you. The gasoline is being paid for
the I remember the election that took PSC to chairmanship. PSC and who? How do you call the guy from your there play?
Noah.
Noah.
Yes.
Michael Noah. Yeah. Koga. When Koga say it's for you, anyway, PSC you're close.
Yeah, guys. Thank you so much. DK, you mentioned you guys say a lot, and I can tell you one of the reasons Peterson I never rested making sure and checking on the auditors to know what information that I have done or whatever I have done that they needed clarity on to provide the clarity. The first time when they contacted me, I was straight to the point to provide this information, and I was straight to the point to make them understand. My little disappointment, the audit report came in details.
Yeah.
But see what I tell you, no lie. Being detailed and being professional and as well carrying information that's clearly provided by somebody that you're auditing. These are three different things. Audit report being very detailed and professional, they get what we call a set format that you can take and put information into it to what they call.
Right.
The problem I continue to have, in fact, I raised that with audit is they take generic information and bring it to certain setting. And I can tell any other institution in our country, they need to go beyond that. Like, for example, if I'm auditing the media institution, the form of auditing the media institution, the information, the way the audit report should present, it should present how I'm auditing media institution. But a generic, form that is auditing like a company. Like, for example, you get a corporate institution, you're auditing a corporate institution. There are certain language, there are certain things about a corporate institution you report in your audit. It will not have to do with not-for-profit. So you're auditing not-for-profit. There are certain information for not-for-profit you include. So we don't have the luxury of time to respond to all of this stuff. But I believe that there are information that were very material, and they are very material. And everybody that is connected to it need to make it clear. Especially the period we didn't serve. Myself, when I read the audit report, I felt very bad. No professional person should go that route. And these things could not necessarily mean the people took the money and put it in their pocket. It could mean they were used by other, things and other activities, and they could not get the professional know how to protect themselves, to do something well, and then they spoil the money. Okay? They don't do certain things right, and then so you can't speak for them unless they themselves come and say this.
Yeah, that must be for themselves.
So I just want to say that thank you so much for giving us the opportunity. And I want to say again, thank you to the superintendent, because if she has not instituted this audit, it's going to be still, people going to still say that we're saying that in Canada, that New Canada money, we're saying that here with. That's what people will say. But it's clear that the 5 some more million, 12 million they're talking about there is not in Peterson period. And I can clearly say that to anybody.
Yeah, so
Peterson work. If you see $100,000 was threw out in a window and you take it to court, I am available anytime. You want me to be in Liberia today? Tell me. I'm not afraid to go anywhere with that. I can do that for sure. So thank you so much. Your name being audited is not that you took money. It's because you perform certain tasks, and that period have been reviewed by another people. And so because of your presence there, they got to mention you in that report. So that's why it is. And we are willing to talk to anybody for that matter. And I will encourage my predecessors, all my colleagues, to do the same thing so that it can be clear to the public. Thank you so much for this time.
Thank you very much for being on here tonight. I want to say thank you to all of our followers who are also following the show. It has been a wonderful time. And we had with us former PMC chairman, Mr. Peterson Walker, here tonight, responding to some of those reports by the GAC on the county administration of Nema County. I've been Junior Payne. DK Way was here tonight. The CEO himself was also here. We're going to be back tomorrow for another brand new edition. Stay care and keep sharing BKS TV.
Thank you.